Hey, happy day 79 of the BP Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma. BP for me, or the challenge for me personally, is lowering my blood pressure. For you, it might be a specific health or weight or lifestyle goal. It might be a business goal. I've done a lot of business challenges, and you can use this process, this 90-day push, to achieve any goal that you want in days instead of years. Today, we're going to talk about the seventh key, the final key or the final area of our life that we need to pay at least a modicum, that means a little bit, of attention to in order to have a happy, successful life. Now, what are those keys? Let's run over them one more time. I've done them, 8 days in a row or 7 days in a row. So, physical, taking care of our physical health and our bodies. Mental, our brains, our thoughts. Spiritual, our higher connection to power. Emotional, we have to take care of our feelings and our emotions. We have to keep some of those in checks. If we just go off willy-nilly, is that going to lead us to the life we want? Probably not. So physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, relationships, financial, we talked about yesterday, and I'm assuming you picked your set point number. And the final one that we're going to talk about today is contribution. What's contribution? Contribution is giving of yourself, contributing not just your money, resources, or other resources, but your time and energy and attention. Nowadays, it isn't how much money can you donate to something, or even how much time can you donate to something. We used to think that time was our rarest commodity, and now I almost think that it's attention. Being able to, and that's time, but we can spend time with people and not really be present or paying attention. It's, so many times now, if you're even walking down the street, or if you're out at a restaurant or a bar, everybody almost, it seems like, or a huge percentage of the population, is staring at the little square box that I'm actually talking into right now, their phone. We're all walking around with our faces glued to our phone instead of interacting with one another. So contribution, one of the biggest and best things you can do from today's standpoint, is just to pay attention. Put your phone down, put your phone away, and pay attention to the people that you're with. What other ways can you contribute? This part of our life is entirely up to you to decide, how do you want to show up in the world? How do you want to make an impact on the world and on other people around you? How do you want to contribute? And however feels good to you is what's right for you. Contribution isn't necessarily going out and doing great things and changing the world. It's being a good mom. It's being a kind person. It's being a good employee. It's being whatever it is that feels good and feels right to you. And pushing ourselves to be a little bit more of that every day. So the challenge today isn't big and grandiose. It's just taking a check and saying, how am I currently contributing to the world around me and people around me and those I love and care about, and to myself? And how do I want to be contributing? How do I want to show up in the world? Just answer those two questions. Now, since it is day 79, it's also our carry forward day. So we want to take, and I'm going to sneak in here, a quick review. I'm going to probably grab my notes and just look at what we talked about so far. And we need to pick one thing that we're going to carry forward with us through the rest of the challenge. Now, it's already day 79, so there's not much challenge left. But my secret hope is that you will get into the habit of doing the thing that you carry forward, and you'll continue to do it even after the 90-day challenge is over. So we talked about, of course, our physical well-being, our mental well-being, our emotional well-being, our spiritual well-being, and how we manage that for ourselves. We talked about the concept of a mastermind. We talked about relationships, our environment, and how important it is to set up an environment that's right for us, and that we get to create that environment, believe it or not. Sometimes it doesn't feel like we get to create it, but we absolutely positively do via the choices we make. We talked about our financial set point yesterday, and today we're just talking about contributing to the world around us, or to make the world, I say to make the world a better place. It's up to you whether you want to make the world a better place or not. And pick one thing that we've done, or maybe the one thing that you decide to go forward with is just on some basis, some frequency. Maybe it's once a year at the end of each year. Maybe it's once a month. You'll just look at these 7 areas of your life and look at the priority order for you and say, am I moving forward in each of those areas of my life, or am I totally ignoring something? Like I totally ignored my health and my physical well-being for a couple of decades. And if I'm totally ignoring that, How long can I continue to do that before it bites me in the derriere? Because if we totally cut ourselves off from any of these 7 areas of our life and well-being, it will give us a wake-up call. And it's usually a wake-up call in a way that we don't want to be woken up. Mine was in the form of ever-increasing health challenges and health issues. My health, because I ignored it for so long and didn't take care of myself, kept giving me warning signs up to and including the sudden cardiac arrest. And if I hadn't woken up after the sudden cardiac arrest and changed my behavior drastically, there's no way I'd be here talking to you. And it's like any of these other areas of our life. The universe or God or whatever you believe in has a way of making sure we don't have to be 100% balanced in each of these areas, but making sure that we pay attention to them on the level that's right for us. That sounds kind of convoluted. But today, what do you want? How are you showing up in the world? What are you contributing? What do you want to contribute? And then of the 7 areas, what are you going to carry forward with you for the rest of the challenge? That's it. If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. If you have any questions, just ask about the challenge, anything we've done so far, something you might be struggling with, just ask me. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, Pajama Grandma, Voxer, Facebook. I'm on a lot of different social media platforms. Twitter, LinkedIn. LinkedIn's probably the fastest, easiest one to get me on because that's the one I'm currently paying the most attention to as I'm making a Facebook Live, right? And making a podcast episode and making a challenge. So you can find me all over the place. So don't use, oh, I can't find Sharon as a reason for not moving forward and not following through on this challenge. It's too important to your life to create the life you want to be held up by a problem or a question or a concern. That's it. Have an absolutely amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow with day 80 and our next and actually final segment of the 90-day challenge. Have an awesome day. Bye.